Hello everyone, my name is Fayaz Khan Sahil, and today we're gonna learn about the heart. So, what is heart, by the way? A heart is basically a special muscles. Look at this specialized structure. It's beautiful, right? You might think looking at the details it might be really difficult to understand, but it isn't. It's really interesting to learn about heart. Heart is a muscle that work non-stop, right? It work long non-stop throughout your life. It contract, it relax, even when you sleeps. Think about the muscles in your hand or muscles in your the tricep and bicep in your hand, right? They doesn't contract and relax all the time, but heart is the only one that contract and relax all the time involuntary because you have no control over its contraction and relaxation. Let's look at some of the important structure. We have aorta, we have SA node, we have atrioventricular node, we have right atrium, right ventricles, left ventricles, and left atrium. We'll learn about this in details. But do you know one interesting fact? Suppose heart can generate enough pressure, right? It can generate enough pressure to excrete blood at a distance of 10 meter. Can you believe that? 10 meter from this small structure. Heart is the size of your fist actually. Take your hand and see your fist. The heart is exactly this small and it can just, excrete blood at a distance of 30 feet or 10 meters. This is impressive, honestly speaking. We will learn the important structure of heart. Let's start with right atrium, right ventricles, left atrium, left ventricles. So, right atrium. Can you see these valves? Can you see these vessels? These are not valves, sorry, vessels. These are like vessels, right? Can you see these vessels? Blood from the whole body actually entered into the right atrium as it traveled throughout the body. So right atrium basically have deoxygenated, but it has some oxygen in it, or low in oxygen blood, right? Low in oxygen blood. So after after the right atrium after the right atrium just gained this blood, or the blood actually came here, it contract and the blood actually go through right ventricles. So the function of right ventricles is basically to pump blood into the lungs. So after it pump bloods, let's look at a more detailed diagram. Let's look at this diagram. Look, blood are coming from these veins and it enter the right ventricles, and when these ventricles contract, blood is pushed through pulmonary artery. But here is the thing, we all know artery carry oxygenated blood, but the blood actually coming out of the ventricles are actually less in oxygen, or you can say deoxygenated blood. But this is a special exception because the other function of artery is that it take blood away from the heart. As it taking blood away from the heart to the lungs, we call it pulmonary artery. Then an interesting thing happened. From the pulmonary artery, it traveled to the lungs. For example, it traveled to the lungs. It traveled to the lungs. For example, this is lungs. Pulmonary artery in short form PA. We write PA. Okay, just for the lack of space. And from the lungs, the blood get oxygenated. O2 rich or oxygenated, right? Then it again enter or travel through pulmonary vein. This time it's vein, that is taking blood towards the heart. Any vessels that take heart towards the heart, it actually vein. Any vessel that take blood away from the heart, any vessels that take blood away from the heart is actually artery. So from this pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood actually enter into the left ventricles. It entered the left ventricles. When the left ventricles contract, the blood enter to the when the left atrium contract, the blood enter into the left ventricles. From the ventricles, when these ventricles contract, the blood actually travel through the aorta and transfer throughout the body. Okay, did you got it? So we have one another important function, which is septum. The septum over here, you can see the septum. This is actually the septum. These are the septum. These are the septums. So septums basically, as you can see, so these are the septum. So septum basically keep the right side of the heart separate from the left side, and so it prevent the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now let's look at the aorta. As you can see, it's one of the largest vessels, right? Aorta basically carries oxygenated blood. It actually carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to all part of the body. It is actually the largest artery in the body. Now we have pulmonary vein. I explained you the thing. Pulmonary vein actually carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. It's the only vein that carry oxygen rich blood, by the way. Now we have vena cava. Okay, now I did a mistake actually. It should be vena cava. I only wrote vena because of, as you know, I forgot. I didn't notice it. We can see, look at this diagram. We can see these two, right? Don't think these two. These are the part of pulmonary artery. As you can see, it's a part of this one, not this one. So only two vessels enter into the right atrium. So we have superior vena cava, we have inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava actually receive blood from the upper body, including your brain, that need continuous O2 rich blood, by the way. And inferior vena cava from the whole body. It receive into the heart. That's actually for the lower body. Okay, now we'll look at some of the interesting structure, I might say, which is these valves. As you can see, they have a special name. The right side, this one actually known as tricuspid valve. This is known as tricuspid valve, and these actually known as bicuspid valve. Okay, now we have aortic valve. We have also pulmonary valve, right? Pulmonary valve. We have this aortic valve. Now let's look at what is the function of this. What's actually the function of these valves, right? They actually prevent the backflow. So the backflow of blood, for example, prevent this movement. Okay, but blood flowing back to the heart, right? Now we'll look at one of the other interesting thing that ensure blood flow in one direction. not the other interesting thing. These are the valves that ensure the backflow and blood can flow in one direction. Now we have our last, not the least of the thing. Let's look at semilunar valve. As you can see, this is a 3D diagram. This is a 3D diagram of it. So, semilunar valves at the exit of the heart where the blood leaves the ventricles. Semilunar valve. Let's find the semilunar valve first. This diagram is more precise, by the way. Let's see where is our semilunar valve. So these are like semilunar valves, okay? These. Why they're called semilunar? As you can see, they arc like a moon. Moon has a name. Moon has a Latin name known as lunar. Okay? As you can see, it is over here, right? At this position, at the top of the ventricles. Now we have pulmonary valve. This is the pulmonary valve, as you can see, this portion. So the function of pulmonary valve, it creates a one-way direction, right? One-way direction between right ventricles and pulmonary artery. Aortic valve between left ventricles and aorta. As you can see, between left ventricle and aorta. So they have only one function, to prevent backflow of blood. So the blood could travel in one direction only. Now we have the last thing you guys should remember. Now I'm gonna ask you a tricky question. Why this side of the muscles are actually thinner, right? These are thinner and these are much larger. Why is that? These are like much larger. Look at this thing and look at this thing. These are like much larger. This is because the right ventricles require rest pressure, right? The blood, look at this, blood is only traveling a short distance to the lungs, right? So they require lower pressure. But at the right side, so this is the right side, by the way. At the left side, the muscles are thicker because the blood need to be pushed at higher pressure, okay? Higher pressure, because blood need to travel throughout the body, okay? So today we're up to this. I hope you guys enjoying the lessons. I'm really new to the YouTube thing, as you guys can see. Sorry, you can't see. I'm a bit nervous too. So see you guys in the next class. I hope you're all doing really well. And please write them down in the comment section, like where you guys are watching this video, and what improvement do you want, guys, and what you want to know about the O levels and A levels. I've given it almost 4 years ago, and I've been teaching these children. So I've been teaching in schools, teaching as a assistants. So it's, for me, it's very new to the YouTube thing, and just teaching in front of a screen. How can I explain it? Probably I'll add a camera, by the way, if it started to get hit. By the way, I took too much time talking this thing. Bye bye. Best of luck for your studies. Tata.